Who goes there? As Xiao Yan stepped into the medicine pavilion, two fully armed guards at the entrance immediately asked sternly, clearly intent on thoroughly questioning anyone wishing to enter. I'm here to purchase some medicinal materials, Xiao Yan replied, nodding slightly. He understood that these two had developed such vigilance from years of professional training. May I trouble you to show relevant identification? The two guards asked. Relevant identification? Xiao Yan asked in surprise. The medicine pavilion has 3 floors. The first floor is open to anyone, but the second floor requires some identification, as it's reserved for notable figures, one of the guards explained. And the third floor? Xiao Yan asked nonchalantly. The third floor is for important figures, and the items auctioned there are priced sky-high. Furthermore, many powerful individuals live there, so the security is very tight. The entry requirements are also extremely strict. Though few could qualify to enter the third floor, the guards still explained patiently, understanding that their duty was to enforce the rules with respect. What do I need to enter the third floor? Xiao Yan inquired. Proof of being an immortal-class alchemist, or perhaps the strength of a 4-star Dou Xian, the guards said, glancing at Xiao Yan's weak aura. Despite their skepticism, they knew better than to be disrespectful. After all, it was their duty to enforce these rules with professionalism. Understood. Xiao Yan nodded slowly, and with a flash, he discreetly revealed his immortal-class alchemist badge. Immortal? Immortal-class alchemist? The guards, both at the 3-star Dou Xian level, immediately recognized the badge as genuine. It was impossible to fake such an item. Lord, please follow me, one of the guards said with a smile, leading Xiao Yan toward the medicine pavilion. Swish, swish. Xiao Yan remained silent, following him quietly. Unbelievable. There are so many people pretending to be harmless, but are actually hiding their true strength in the pavilion these days. An immortal-class alchemist at this age? Their future achievements will be? The remaining guard murmured enviously. Lord, please this way. The guard led Xiao Yan deeper into the pavilion, but they quickly realized that the internal pathways were complex and surrounded by powerful spiritual forces that blocked Xiao Yan from sensing any particular aura. Clearly, these were the residences of some formidable individuals. Creak. Please wait here, Lord. I'll go summon the supervisor to greet you. The guard quickly left. Thud. A few minutes later, a sharp-eyed man slowly entered the room. Greetings, Lord. I am the supervisor of the medicine pavilion, Supervisor Hua. Should you need anything, please don't hesitate to speak, and I will do my best to find it for you. Supervisor Hua looked at Xiao Yan, who was still young, but did not show any disdain. The immortal-class alchemist badge alone was enough to show respect. I need a piece of 1,000-year mystic ice, sourced from beneath the deep sea, Xiao Yan said without hesitation. 1,000-year mystic ice from beneath the deep sea? Supervisor Hua raised an eyebrow in surprise, clearly puzzled. Is there a problem? Xiao Yan asked calmly, though inside, he became more cautious. If he couldn't find the necessary ingredient here, it could severely disrupt his plans. No problem, but you must understand, the deep sea has always been a forbidden zone for human life, so the value of such 1,000-year mystic ice is quite extraordinary. Supervisor Hua trailed off. Rest assured, if the medicine pavilion has this item, I will offer satisfactory compensation, Xiao Yan said with a slow smile. No, no, no. Supervisor Hua quickly corrected him. I didn't mean that. The 1,000-year mystic ice is indeed listed in our records, but it belongs to a rather special individual. This person holds treasures dear, so exchanging anything with them will be extremely difficult, Supervisor Hua said. Don't worry about that. Please guide me to them, Xiao Yan replied with a calm smile. Since that's the case, follow me. Supervisor Hua nodded and led Xiao Yan through several flights of stairs, deeper into the pavilion. The energy from these pills is so strong. As they stepped into a hallway, Xiao Yan could sense an intense medicinal aura emanating from a wooden door ahead, indicating that humans lived inside. Old Luo. Supervisor Hua knocked lightly on the wooden door. Get lost, get lost. A voice came from within, clearly a curse. This is Elder Luo's residence. Elder Luo is quite a distinguished figure, with connections to the powerful experts inside the villa. He is also a 4-star Dou Xian and specializes in thunder-type Dou Qi. The supervisor turned and said to Xiao Yan, "Elder Luo." Xiao Yan nodded slowly, then spoke calmly, his voice carrying a soul force of a mortal realm level, directed at the wooden door. "Oh, the mortal realm soul power?" In an instant, the wooden door slowly opened, revealing a disheveled old man who immediately walked up to Xiao Yan, circling around him and sizing him up from head to toe. "I can only help you up to this point. The rest is up to you. If you need anything, just let me know," the supervisor said slowly, then turned and left. Inside the medicine pavilion, privacy is strictly protected for both parties in transactions. The pavilion only provides the opportunity for communication between buyers and sellers without interfering in whether the deal is successful. "I heard Elder Luo possesses a piece of 1,000-year mystic ice?" Xiao Yan got straight to the point. 1,000-year mystic ice? Upon hearing this, Elder Luo stopped circling Xiao Yan and looked at him with a wary expression. "Kid, let me tell you, although your immortal realm soul power is indeed impressive, you're still too young for me. Besides, the value of 1,000-year mystic ice is such that even if you offer me a 5th-grade immortal class pill, I wouldn't exchange it with you. After all, when I risked my life to enter the Dust Sea, I barely managed to acquire a small piece of 1,000-year mystic ice, and it nearly cost me my life," Elder Luo said nonchalantly. "Heh, Elder Luo, I believe there is no deal that can't be made," Xiao Yan replied with a smile, his voice full of confidence. "Oh, that's a reasonable point. If you offer me some divine class Dou skills or pills of divine class quality, I might consider exchanging this 1,000-year mystic ice for them," Elder Luo said indifferently. "This bastard," Xiao Yan thought to himself, his heart sinking. Divine class Dou skills and pills were some of the rarest items in the Great Thousand Worlds. "Since you don't have them, then please leave. Old scrap, I have no use for it." As soon as his words fell, Elder Luo turned and walked back toward the wooden door. "I don't have those things, but I do have something that I believe Elder Luo might be interested in," Xiao Yan said, showing no sign of defeat. He gazed steadily at Elder Luo and smiled. Vroom vroom. Just as Xiao Yan finished speaking, a strange force of lightning began to swirl around him. His body seemed to become a ball of thunder, radiating a terrifying aura. "You have something interesting inside you?" Elder Luo, who had been disinterested, slowly turned and looked at Xiao Yan. The lightning force Xiao Yan had just released made him feel a terrifying and destructive energy wave. Elder Luo, being a thunder element Dou Qi user himself, was very familiar with this kind of energy. But Xiao Yan was an alchemist, so how could such intense lightning power exist inside him? This puzzled Elder Luo, but the level of this thunder power was enough to catch his attention. "Elder Luo, what do you think?" After a moment, Xiao Yan slowly retracted the strange lightning, then smiled. "What was that?" Elder Luo asked casually, but he was inwardly shocked. "Source of thunder. I obtained it by chance," Xiao Yan said, and as soon as his words fell, a sphere of gray lightning appeared in his palm, crackling with terrifying, ominous waves. "This." Elder Luo's pupils contracted tightly, and he rushed to Xiao Yan's side, intent on examining it closely. This was the Thunderbolt Pearl, formed from the purest thunder energy. It was the core of the Thunder Lord's power absorbed from the Thunder Pool, and after being devoured by Xiao Yan's soul avatar, the remaining thunder essence was gathered and compressed into this brilliant sphere. One should not underestimate this Thunderbolt Pearl. It contained the essence of the Thunder Lord, making it a true treasure for those who specialized in thunder-type Dou Qi. Although this thing is valuable, it still doesn't compare to 1,000-year mystic ice. Elder Luo forced himself to suppress the boiling excitement in his chest and turned his gaze back to Xiao Yan. His strength wasn't formidable, but having been trapped at the 4-star Dou Xian level for so long, the presence of such a pure thunder energy in the Thunderbolt Pearl stirred him deeply. He could sense that if he absorbed it and comprehended its secrets, it might allow him to break through to the 5-star Dou Xian level. Heh. Although 1,000-year mystic ice is indeed precious, Elder Luo shouldn't underestimate my Thunderbolt Pearl. I obtained this Thunderbolt Pearl in a life-and-death situation. While I don't know exactly what it can do, the gray thunder alone nearly wiped me out. And if it weren't for the fact that I'm of the fire attribute, I would never have taken this out to trade. Xiao Yan said with a slight smile. As he spoke, his palm moved gently, and on the thunder pearl, strands of gray lightning emerged, forming an ancient pattern. The gray lightning was as terrifying as the annihilation of all things. No, no. Elder Luo glared at the thunder pearl in Xiao Yan's hand again, immediately rejecting the offer. Elder Luo was an old hand in this business, and in his eyes, Xiao Yan was just a young man, barely out of his apprenticeship, so naturally, he was looking to deceive Xiao Yan. Then I must apologize, Xiao Yan said slowly. This is the highest reward I can offer. Since Elder Luo is unwilling to trade, then I'll have no choice but to reluctantly give up. In a few days, the 4 continents competition begins, and I will be leaving here, Xiao Yan continued, his voice calm. As soon as he finished speaking, he slowly put the thunder pearl away, made a gesture to Elder Luo to indicate he was leaving, and with light steps, he began walking away. This was a courtyard, and the distance from the wooden door of Elder Luo's residence to the outside world was several hundred meters. This old man, he really knows how to stay calm, Xiao Yan said, nonchalantly continuing on his way, not looking back. After walking about 30 meters, he noticed that Elder Luo was still quietly standing by the wooden door, watching him. This guy looks like another old fox. Elder Luo watched Xiao Yan's figure grow smaller in the distance and shook his head inwardly. Clearly, he understood that this was a test of both their patience. 50 meters. Xiao Yan murmured to himself, his soul power locking onto Elder Luo's every movement. But unfortunately, the old man still showed no sign of action. 70 meters, 80 meters, 90 meters. This bastard really is tough. Looks like this time I'll have to pay a big price. The 1,000-year mystic ice must be mine. Xiao Yan cursed inwardly as he neared the exit. Ruo. Just as Xiao Yan turned his head, ready to speak, Elder Luo spoke first. Forget it, come back. Though the value of the 1,000-year mystic ice is quite high, it's useless to me, and I've never seen such a brilliant thunder pearl. This must be the possession of some exalted senior. You're lucky, brat. With that, Elder Luo slowly shook his head. Ah. Xiao Yan sighed in relief upon hearing this. If Elder Luo hadn't compromised in the end, Xiao Yan would have likely spent even more of his resources and effort to make the trade. Come with me. A moment later, Elder Luo gently pushed open the wooden door and led Xiao Yan inside. What an exquisite living space. As soon as Xiao Yan stepped inside, he saw rows of cabinets appear before his eyes. Layers upon layers of drawers stretched upwards, each emanating powerful fluctuations and restrictive auras, likely used to store precious treasures. Here, this is what you wanted. Not long after, Elder Luo took out a round iron block, submerged in some liquid, from the top drawer of one of the cabinets and handed it to Xiao Yan. This is the 1,000-year mystic ice? Xiao Yan carefully took the item and immediately felt a strange, chilling energy slowly emanating from the liquid around the iron block and from the block itself. This liquid was sourced from deep beneath the sea. It's the best medium for preserving its properties, but be warned, the power within it is immense. Only a very strong flame can refine it. Elder Luo said as he carefully stroked the thunder pearl and explained. I thank you, senior. Xiao Yan slowly put the item away and expressed his gratitude. I'll have the guys at the medicine pavilion handle the rest of the formalities. I can't stand seeing that guy who always drains my resources, Elder Luo said, a bit annoyed. Now go. With that, Xiao Yan was promptly kicked out, but at this point, he had already gathered all the materials for the Undying Fire Pill and Ice Mystic Pill. All that was left was the final step, refining the pills. You still have that temper. As Xiao Yan left, a strange figure emerged from inside the wooden door. The newcomer was none other than Duan Tianhong. Does this kid really have such great potential? Could it be you're mistaken? Elder Luo asked as he put the thunder pearl away. In Soul Heaven is ultimately not a place for humans to live. One day, we'll have to leave here and return to our own land. As for Xiao Yan, Something about him gives me a sense of peace or mystery. I feel that his future achievements are limitless, so for now, if I can help, I will. This isn't just my decision. It's the decision of the entire Forged Blade Thunder Valley. Duan Tianhong said with a slow smile. This kid. Seems like I should find a chance to introduce him to the sect master. Hehe. Xiao Yan had just exchanged for the 1,000-year mystic ice, and he was in a very good mood as he slowly left the medicine pavilion and headed towards the bustling market nearby. The medicine market and the medicine pavilion were mainly places for the exchange of medicinal pills and herbs. However, it was the bustling market that was filled with countless strange and rare things, and as such, it was often referred to as the treasure hunting area. As Xiao Yan walked out of the medicine pavilion, it was already approaching evening. The golden rays of the setting sun cast a warm glow as he made his way toward the busy market. The market was alive with excitement, and all around, bright red lanterns hung from every corner, adding a festive air to the place. Let's see if I can find something valuable, Xiao Yan muttered as he wandered through the market, weaving through the crowd. The vibrant red lanterns and the throngs of people created a lively and cheerful atmosphere. Damn it! The 4 continents competition still hasn't started. A little distance away, 2 men were walking leisurely. Both of them exuded a strong aura, and one of them gave Xiao Yan a feeling of familiarity. Mushi, please be patient. I've heard this 4 continents competition will gather many powerful experts, so it will definitely be a grand event like never before, the other man said with a smile. To think it's the Shiyun Pavilion and the Furious Dragon Alliance from the Western continent. These 2 forces are almost like overlords in the West. I've also heard their relationship isn't great. How is it that their young masters are walking so close together now? Some figures of notable status in the market whispered in surprise as they watched the 2 men. Forget it. I won't worry about these troublesome matters anymore. That place seems to be surrounded by quite a few people. Let's go take a look. As the 2 men spoke, they immediately made their way toward a square crowded with people. What is this place? It's so lively, Xiao Yan muttered as he arrived at the center of the market. For some reason, a huge crowd had gathered here, and it was quite impressive. Hehe. Welcome everyone. We, the Myriad Treasures Assembly, are a recognized treasure-gathering place within the Heavenly Nether Villa. In order to maintain the prestige of the villa's lord, we occasionally auction off some of the treasures we acquire, said a middle-aged man at the center of the square, his voice filled with laughter. Behind him, in an area shrouded in red light, a seemingly young, disheveled man was slowly bound within a cage. The man exuded a violent aura, as fierce as a soul beast, which made onlookers feel uneasy. At this time, the Heavenly Nether Villa was busy preparing for the 4 continents competition and had naturally overlooked this individual. Otherwise, if they had known of his existence, the Myriad Treasures Assembly would never have been allowed to auction him. What is this thing? Is it human? To auction off a human being, this is a huge taboo. Several powerful individuals nearby were shocked, clearly astonished that even the special circumstances of the Een Soul Heaven couldn't justify such an open display of human trafficking, especially within the confines of the Heavenly Nether Villa. What are you Myriad Treasures Assembly doing? Didn't the Villa Lord explicitly forbid the auction of humans? By doing this, are you not provoking the Lord's authority? Soon, some of the residents of Four Cornered City, sensing a common cause, raised their voices in protest. Hehe, I think you all misunderstand, the middle-aged man of the Myriad Treasures Assembly said with a smile. This person is indeed human, but in a certain sense, he's not entirely human, he explained with a grin. This guy is exuding such intense ghostly energy, but his aura is exactly the same as ours. Why is that? Some of the onlookers murmured in astonishment. It was well known that humans and ghosts were vastly different beings. Is this person a hybrid of a human and a ghost? The next moment, a bold thought emerged in Xiao Yan's mind. With his immense spiritual power, he could clearly feel the dazzling ghostly energy and human vitality within the man, making it evident to him. Wait a minute, this doesn't make sense. Most ghosts are formless spirits or wandering souls. How could they possibly produce offspring with humans? Xiao Yan wondered again after a moment. Nothing is impossible. After certain ghosts undergo reincarnation, they can retain their original ghostly energy, which is how such a situation arises. However, offspring from the ghost realm and humans usually don't survive past the age of 3 because the ghostly and human energies are incompatible. But this man seems to be over 20 years old. This is truly extraordinary. There must be something special inside this guy's body, the devourer of souls murmured. Even Master has never seen such a union between a ghost and a human. Xiao Yan was now the one surprised. I have seen it, but unfortunately, they never lived past 10 years old. Most of them died in infancy due to the destructive nature of the ghostly and human energies. However, this little guy must be obtained. This is the first time I've encountered something like this in my life. It must be nurtured well, and in the future, he will undoubtedly become a capable assistant. The devourer of souls said firmly, a new plan forming in his mind. Humans can form hybrids, though the chance of a ghost-human hybrid appearing in the history of the ghost realm is exceedingly small, not to mention surviving to adulthood. All right, Xiao Yan nodded lightly. Although he didn't know what kind of mystery this being held, since the devourer of souls had said so, Xiao Yan naturally wouldn't refuse. What's the real background of this guy? Some impatient figures couldn't help but ask. He is the offspring of a human and a ghost, though the full details are not for me to explain. If you're interested, feel free to make an offer. A man from the Myriad Treasures Assembly spoke up after a short pause, his voice tinged with mockery. The Myriad Treasures Assembly worked in cooperation with Heavenly Nether Villa, sending the auction goods to the villa. After all, Heavenly Nether Villa consumed vast resources to maintain the stability of the entire region. An offspring of a human and a ghost? How could it have lived so long? What kind of secret is hidden within this guy? As the man from the Myriad Treasures Assembly finished speaking, murmurs erupted around the room. 3 Emperor Tier, 3rd grade Heavenly Pills. 2 Immortal Tier 4th grade Earth Pills. 1 Immortal Tier 4th grade Heavenly Prescription. After a brief discussion, numerous terrifying bids were raised, as many sought to win this being, eager to uncover its secrets. This is too ruthless, right? Forget it. I'll just be a hunter. Xiao Yan had originally planned to bid as a test, but he had very little valuable items on hand, so he quickly abandoned the idea. This hybrid seems to emit a familiar fluctuation. Moments later, Xiao Yan's spiritual power cut through the crowd of figures, slowly approaching the man in the cage. This human seems to have the scent of my father. The moment Xiao Yan's spiritual power touched the man in the cage, the man's black pupils slowly turned toward Xiao Yan's direction, muttering to himself, "Buzz buzz." As the man in the cage locked eyes with Xiao Yan, a ripple, identical to his own, appeared at the center of Xiao Yan's brow. This guy, could he be a descendant of our Xiao clan ancestors? Xiao Yan's pupils contracted as he immediately recognized the presence of an identical power in the man's body. In his heart, he exclaimed in disbelief. For at that moment, Xiao Yan could clearly sense the same power coursing through the man, Xiao clan bloodline power. This bloodline power was something only those of the Xiao clan could possess. With this power, one could summon clan inscriptions for assistance and even cultivate some little-known techniques. The might of those techniques was enough to shake the strongest of enemies. Most importantly, this individual was connected to the Xiao clan, and he might know some secrets about their clan. Who exactly is this guy? Xiao Yan quickly suppressed the fluctuation of his bloodline power and the clan inscription at the center of his brow, making sure no one around him noticed anything unusual. However, internally, his thoughts were in turmoil. Undoubtedly, after Xiao Yan's blood was replaced by his ancestor Xiao Xian in the sky above Dou Xian continent, he had acquired the purest bloodline power of the Xiao clan. Later, after going through some mysterious events, the clan inscription on his brow seemed to hide their clan's guardian, 10 Yama Kings. Even so, Xiao Yan still couldn't crack the secret behind the Xiao clan's annihilation in the Great Thousand Worlds. Now, encountering this hybrid with such a familiar aura, Xiao Yan's heart raced. It was unmistakably the scent of the Xiao clan. Now that he had encountered this person, Xiao Yan would not give up, and he was determined to rescue him safely. What's going on? The Devourer of Souls hadn't noticed any of this, and upon sensing Xiao Yan's sudden change in emotion, he asked with confusion, Master, this guy probably has the Xiao clan's bloodline power, Xiao Yan said solemnly, each word full of conviction. What? He has the Xiao clan's bloodline power? The Devourer of Souls was immediately stunned. Yes, I'm sure of it. Xiao Yan nodded affirmatively. Even if his spiritual power sensing was off, the feeling of the bloodline power would never be mistaken. No wonder. I told you that a hybrid of a human and a ghost wouldn't survive past 10 years. But if he managed to survive to adulthood, then it makes sense. After all, the Xiao clan's name carries immense power in the Great Thousand Worlds. The Devourer of Souls sighed in relief, a knowing smile appearing on his face. Since that's the case, this guy must be obtained. Xiao Yan nodded slowly, then fell silent, concealing his presence. Once the auction had a winner, he would take action. This person had the scent of the Xiao clan on him. No matter what, Xiao Yan could not let this opportunity slip by. Who knows, it might reveal many things to him, and even if it didn't, as a member of the Xiao clan, Xiao Yan felt both the responsibility and obligation to rescue him. I offer a semi-immortal technique. Immediately, Mu Shi turned to address the figures gathered around the stage. Semi-immortal technique? The powerful figures present immediately exchanged glances, clearly stunned by the impact of these words. This guy really doesn't hold back. The value of a semi-immortal battle skill is unique in the Great Thousand Worlds. Even the most powerful sects have very few of these. As Mu Shi spoke, the noisy venue fell into silence. Everyone turned their eyes toward her, eager to see who could offer such a precious treasure, an item as rare as a semi-immortal battle skill. In the Great Thousand Worlds, battle skills were categorized from the lowest rank, heaven rank, immortal rank, sacred rank, to the legendary divine rank battle skills. The highest divine rank battle skills were said to possess earth-shattering power, though they were exceedingly rare in the Great Thousand Worlds. Among the various ranks, there was the most debate between sacred rank and divine rank battle skills. As one's strength grew, the difference in power between these two ranks was immense. Many powerful figures believed that a new level should be added between the sacred and divine ranks to better distinguish the power of the techniques. Thus, through the continued exploration by various branches and humans, an additional category emerged between sacred and divine battle skills, known as immortal battle skills. After sacred rank battle skills came immortal battle skills, and only after immortal battle skills could one access true divine rank techniques. Immortal battle skills were divided into semi-immortal, low-grade immortal, mid-grade immortal, and high-grade immortal skills, after which came the genuine divine rank battle skills. Immortal techniques were not fundamentally different from regular battle skills, except that using immortal techniques required not only dazzling Dou Qi but also mastery over a domain. Thus, only those with domains, or whose power exceeded the 5-star Dou Xian level could wield immortal techniques. In the Great Thousand Worlds, heaven rank battle skills were the lowest tier, most commonly used by Dou Di. The sacred rank techniques were generally used by those between 1-star Dou Xian and 4-star Dou Xian, while immortal techniques were wielded only by 5-star Dou Xian or those with domains. After immortal battle skills, one could access true divine rank techniques. The so-called divine rank battle skills were intangible and invisible. It was said that only those with at least an 8-star Dou Xian cultivation or greater could train in them, making their existence even more elusive. This is why the immortal battle skill category was born. This guy really has some big moves, Xiao Yan murmured, turning his head. After all, the value of a semi-immortal technique was enormous. Even in the Thunderfire Wood of Eastern Continent, they were incredibly rare. Even someone as powerful as Duan Tianhong, at the peak of 5-star Dou Xian, had only cultivated sacred rank techniques. As for immortal techniques, it was likely he had never touched them. This was enough to demonstrate the immense value of immortal battle skills. Semi-immortal technique? The man accompanying Mu Shi glanced at her before speaking. On the Western Continent, both Xiyun Pavilion and the Furious Dragon Alliance were top-tier forces, but in terms of battle skill resources and heritage, Xiyun Pavilion was superior. After all, Xiyun Pavilion possessed a genuine semi-immortal technique. Doing this may not be worth it. As Mu Shi offered her sky-high bid, other figures interested in the human-ghost hybrid also shook their heads. Among them were many hidden experts capable of offering things more precious than a semi-immortal technique. However, the value of a human-ghost hybrid was not significant. After all, it was a gamble. If successful, it would be a great joy. But if it failed, the loss would be immense. Is there anyone else offering a bid? The man from the Myriad Treasures Assembly smiled in satisfaction and looked around. Since no one else, this person is yours. The man from the Myriad Treasures Assembly smiled at Mu Shi. As soon as the words left his mouth, the two of them headed toward the medicine pavilion to complete the necessary procedures. Looks like we're not the only ones eyeing this person. Well, so be it. Since our paths cross, let's settle both old and new grudges. Xiao Yan quietly disappeared into the crowded street, using the cover of night. A black robe appeared on him, and he silently followed Mu Shi. Once she left the medicine pavilion, he would strike immediately. We should leave as well. Xiao Yan lightly paced through the bustling market, his attention constantly focused on Mu Shi, who was not far away inside the medicine pavilion. Inside the medicine pavilion, the transaction was completed effortlessly. However, the cage that imprisoned the hybrid human ghost entity could not be stored in a spatial ring and had to be carried around instead. This was quite troublesome. Imagine having to carry such a large cage. It would not only be inconvenient, but it would also attract attention. Such an obvious item would easily raise suspicions, and incidents of robbery or murder were common in such cases. Senior, could you send someone to escort me back to my residence? Mu Shi asked in pain, as he exchanged the ultimate treasure of their Xiyun Pavilion. If the outcome of this exchange did not yield the shocking discovery he hoped for, his father would likely beat him to death. The distance from the bustling market to their residence in Four-Cornered City was not short. Along the way, the area was sparsely populated, making it the perfect time for someone to strike in secret. Given the large cage Mu Shi was carrying, he had no choice but to seek help from the middle-aged man of the Myriad Treasures Assembly. I have other matters to attend to. I'm afraid I cannot assist you. The man from the Myriad Treasures Assembly said, before quickly leaving. It was clear that it was their rule. If one lacked the ability to protect the treasures they exchanged, they were merely making a gift for someone else. That old bastard. Seeing the man from the Myriad Treasures Assembly leave without a word, leaving Mu Shi and the cage behind, Mu Shi cursed under his breath. Carrying such an obvious cage through Four-Cornered City would make him a target for everyone. Having already paid such a heavy price, the immediate priority was to return the item to his residence. Once there, his father and the powerful figures in the pavilion would be able to unravel its secrets. I hope you won't disappoint me. Mu Shi slowly approached the cage and crouched down, his eyes fixed on the eerie figure of the young man inside. His voice was filled with intense fervor. Boom! The young man, seemingly restrained by the power of the cage, was suddenly stirred by Mu Shi's voice. His pupils trembled, and he let out a ferocious growl, much like a soul beast. Crazy bastard, can't even speak properly? Forget it, let's go. With that, Mu Shi began making his way back to his residence, carefully avoiding numerous people along the way, unaware that many had already locked onto him in secret. The residence of Xiyun Pavilion was located in the eastern part of Four-Cornered City, in the same area as Xiao Yan's group. However, they lived atop a mountain, meaning that to return, they had to pass through a sparsely populated area. This stretch of land was often ignored, even by the experts of Heavenly Nether Villa, making it the perfect ambush point. So many people? As Xiao Yan hid behind a rock, his brilliant soul power detected the presence of several powerful individuals surrounding the stone forest. These individuals were all at least 3-star Dou Xian level. The stone forest was the path that led to Xiyun Pavilion's residence, a lush, unique area with countless stones and dense foliage. The value of the human-ghost hybrid is immeasurable. I wonder what's going on inside Heavenly Nether Villa to have them put it up for auction. If the Lord of Dimensions finds out about this, Heavenly Nether Villa will face punishment. After all, the wrath of a higher being is enough to destroy the world. A human-ghost hybrid, once fully cultivated, could become the most powerful being in the ghost realm. The devourer of souls laughed. Swoosh, swoosh. Xiao Yan only listened faintly to the words of the devourer of souls. Then, at the entrance of the stone forest, a familiar figure appeared, dragging a large cage behind him. The figure was none other than Mu Shi, and the cage in his hands contained the imprisoned human-ghost hybrid. However, at this moment, the entity's energy was weak, its pupils tightly shut, offering no resistance. With so many people around, there's no rush, Xiao Yan said, his core inscription in his body wriggling, as brilliant array patterns began to form at the center of his palm, which was filled with a colorless energy stone. The appearance of the array stone and array patterns indicated that Xiao Yan was fully prepared. Friend, my name is Feng Ling. After a moment, a tall, athletic man stepped out from the shadows and approached with a wide smile. Feng Ling? From the southern continent? Mu Shi, of course, knew that returning to his residence smoothly wouldn't be easy. However, the southern continent was the weakest among the surrounding regions, and Feng Ling's strength was only at half-step 3-star Dou Xian. Mu Shi slowly shook his head. To think such weak strength would dare to intercept him, he was overestimating himself. Thud. Without hesitation, Mu Shi's figure surged, and brilliant Dou Qi erupted from his body. Wooden-patterned reef. In an instant, Feng Ling's brilliant smile turned into a heavy expression, and then, a dazzling surge of wood attribute Dou Qi erupted around him. Whoosh! As Feng Ling's wood attribute Dou Qi surged forth, it brought with it a powerful aura of life energy, and soon, a massive green barrier, dozens of feet in size, formed around him. The green barrier was incredibly strong defensively, but even so, under Mu Shi's attack, it began to tremble and show signs of collapsing. Such a tough shell. Having failed to land a hit, Mu Shi quickly retreated and moved directly toward the cage, her gaze fixed on the person inside. Though this individual was weak in strength, his proficiency with wood attribute defense was remarkable. Brother Huang, it's your turn. Otherwise, things will get troublesome. At that moment, a roar echoed through the stone forest, and immediately, a muscular man, radiating a fierce aura, emerged from the shadows. He lunged forward like a mountain, entering the battlefield. 10,000 bodies sect. Huang Lei, I didn't expect you to join forces with them. Seeing the man, Mu Shi couldn't help but mock. The 10,000 bodies sect, located in the northern continent, was a low-key force known for their unique understanding of body arts. As a result, their overall strength ranked among the top in the northern continent. I think you've misunderstood. Our 10,000 bodies sect has never needed to ally with others. We're just here to repay a favor by taking you down. Huang Lei smiled slightly, but there was a murderous intent hidden in that smile, shining as brightly as a blade. Enough talking, let's get to it. Hold it off, and I'll go take the cage. Don't get bogged down in a fight. Once I succeed, we'll withdraw immediately, Feng Ling said seriously. SZZZZ. The next moment, such overwhelming pressure. This guy's power is terrifying. Mu Shi's expression changed slightly. Now she realized the true strength of Huang Lei.